If you're a business owner, you've probably heard the promise of AI about 1,000 times by now, right? It's going to save you time, slash costs, and just supercharge your growth. But for so many of us, the reality feels a lot more complicated. Does that sound familiar? If you're trying out all these different AI tools, but you're just not seeing a real tangible return on that investment, well, you are definitely not alone. That feeling of frustration is incredibly common. So let's get specific. Why is this happening? You know, it almost always comes down to a handful of the same core roadblocks that just stop AI from actually delivering for your business. And here they are. First, it usually starts with having no real strategy. Just, trying out cool tools without a clear goal. Then you've got messy data. AI can't work its magic if your information is scattered all over the place. We also see a huge skills gap, which naturally leads to fear and mistakes. And if you add in some very real security concerns, you get to the final problem. You're just running endless experiments with no way to measure if they're actually working. It all just adds up to wasted time and wasted money. But look, these aren't just abstract ideas. They have a direct and honestly a pretty painful cost that looks a little different depending on what kind of business you're running. So if you're a local business, think brick and mortar or a service company, these roadblocks show up as slower responses to customers, inconsistent follow-ups, and ultimately, you're missing out on chances to build that loyalty that brings people back through the door. For you e-commerce owners out there, the impact hits right where it hurts the most, your numbers. When your data is a mess and your support isn't consistent, you end up with a really generic customer experience. And that reads directly to lower conversion rates and a weaker lifetime value for every single customer you worked so hard to get. And if you're in online services, where your whole funnel is basically your website and your inbox, all this chaos means longer sales cycles, missed follow-ups, and your team spending way too much time on repetitive manual work instead of actually closing deals. Okay, so that's the problem. But here is the really good news. It is absolutely fixable. You don't need a massive budget or your own team of data scientists. What you really need is a simple, clear structure. After looking at hundreds of businesses, we saw a really clear pattern emerge. The frustration almost always comes from the same 5 core areas. And the best part is, each one has a pretty straightforward fix. The framework is so simple because it directly mirrors the problems we just talked about. So instead of having no strategy, you get clear direction. To fix that messy data, you prepare it. You close the skills gap by equipping your team. You deal with those security fears by setting guardrails. And to solve the ROI problem, well, you actually measure it. It's a clear solution for every single roadblock. This framework is the what, but the how is just as important, right? The key here is to put these fixes into practice with a simple, low-risk process that's all about action, not complexity. It all breaks down into 3 simple steps. First, we audit where you are right now. Then, we fix the biggest pain points by implementing just 3 to 5 really high-impact changes. And finally, we help you grow by measuring what's working and then scaling it across the entire business. It's simple, it's clear, and it's super effective. So, here's the bottom line. AI does not have to be another source of stress for you. When you give it the right structure, it stops being a distraction and starts becoming a genuine competitive advantage. If you want to start applying this framework yourself, go ahead and download our free guide, AI Foundations for Small Businesses. It's a really practical toolkit that'll walk you through each of these 5 fixes. Or hey, if you're ready for a more tailored plan and you just rather talk to an expert, you can book a free, no-obligation consultation with our team. We'll help you map out a simple AI roadmap that actually fits your business. We're Keosko. We help businesses build visibility, trust, and real measurable growth. Thanks so much for watching.